Leaves turn, shadows lengthen. A chill breeze rises from the east, even as the sun warms my face. The days grow short, the nights grow long, the smell of spiced cider and dry leaves filling the air. The whispers of ancestors, long past on the wind, a witch's song prancing on my lips as the trees turn the color of fire. Then the days grow short, and the fire leaves fall, and the echoes of voices long gone from this world, they haunt me still. The crackling of fire chases away the ache in heart as snow blossoms bloom upon grasping bare branches. The skies are endless gray. Sunlight is pale and wan, reflecting the emptiness of a world gone into deep, dormant sleep. Yet wheel turns forward, the cold driven away by warm blankets, hot chocolate, and a cozy night with friends, as we watch the sunrise of a new year come upon us. I hear the oath of a season, the promise that, in the end, we find a place to finally call home. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the House of Dreams. Fantastical worlds, mythic beasts, and wondrous tales. Set your imagination free. We are a TTRPG actual play creative collective led by queer, BIPOC, and marginalized folks. I am Okami, and I will be your guide. Today, we present Chapter 4 of A Season's Oath, a Wanderhome actual play series of hope, exploration, and deep magic. A West Marches, hexcrawl, and OSR-inspired folklore punk journey with a rotating cast of travelers who weave in and out of the saga. All of them are seeking to understand a magic bestowed upon them by the venerable and forgotten gods of flame, form, dark, and wind. A journey that will take them to many forgotten and sacred places all over Haeth. This series will showcase the full rules of Wanderhome by Possum Creek Games, including the seasons, holidays, guest playbooks and natures, and J Dragon's Patreon homebrew magic rules. House of Dreams and Pocket Dragon Pub are teaming up this Pride season for a month-long charity actual play streaming event. We're raising funds for Rainbow Railroad, a Canadian-based nonprofit lending aid to LGBTQ refugees all over the globe to find safe places to relocate and live as their authentic selves. The first 4 Sundays in June, now we're in the second, the house will be streaming this 4th chapter, and we just finished streaming one of the LGBTQ-themed one-shots over on Pocket Dragon Pub, and which will include a special A Season's Oath interlude guided by myself. All of this is leading up to the final weekend of June for Pantsless Table's Pride streaming celebration, who is raising funds for P Flag, another wonderful nonprofit that helps parents of LGBT people support and stand up for their kids. To donate to Rainbow Railroad, you'll see a Tiltify link in the chat. Please donate if you can. We have lots of fun incentives to add color and wonder to our journey. For $5, you can grant a token to one of our travelers that they may use or save for later. For $15, you can introduce a new kith. For $25, you can introduce a relic, a special kith that is an inanimate object that confers the traveler who carries it with a supernatural trait, as if they were a kith. Each relic also has a unique bit of Haeth lore that comes with it, A roll on a special chart will determine what relic is found on the journey. Also, for $25, you can confer a magic trait. You can give a traveler the first level of a new path of magic, deepening their connection to the venerable and forgotten gods. We have a donation goal of $50 to Awaken a Folklore. So, as soon as we hit 50, and every time we hit 50, the folklore of the current nature being directly interacted with is immediately brought into the current scene or immediately after. Now, let's introduce our travelers. Mark, tell us who you are, your pronouns, your character, their playbook, and then popcorn it over to another player.
Greetings and good afternoon, everyone. It's your 41-year-old non-binary boy, Mark J, coming to you playing the Ragamuffin. I'm a little kitten, a little Ragamuffin kitten named Oken. I'm really excited to jump back in this character that is my cat personified, and maybe all cats personified if you really think about it. So yeah, check me out doing cool stuff on Apocalyptic Unlimited, and I'm gonna popcorn it over to Janie.
Hi, I'm Janie. I'm playing Azalea, she, they pronouns, just around in places. And popcorn to Leona.
Hello, I am Leona. You can find me all over the internet at the Leona Maple. Today I am playing Geeta, who is our black floofy cat dancer. And today, fun fact, I learned that the Ojibwe word for cat basically means greedy because they saw cats and were like, heck, little creatures, kind of greedy. They're very indulgent. And that was how they came up with the word for cat, and I thought that was very cool.
Nice. So,
Can I interrupt real quick?
yeah,
man?
absolutely.
Let me hype up someone here real quick. Let me hype up Janie, who is an award, was an award nominated team for the Black History Month celebration and fundraiser we did.
Yes.
Janie be just around, but Janie is also in a big way a part of the community. So
Janie's being humble.
Shout out to Janie, and of course Hector. But
thank
Janie,
you so
I
much.
gotta give Janie some props too.
Thank
For
you.
real.
That's it. I'm
so
done.
much great behind the scenes work, like contributing to making this happen. Wait, is this the first stream since the Crit Award nominations been announced?
Yeah, they were announced last week.
Okay, so as you all know, Season's Oath started. Our first 4 episodes were streamed as a part of Apocalyptic Unlimited's Black History Month event, which has now been nominated for a Crit Award for Best Community Wellness / big event thing. I'm still flabbergasted by it. I'm so grateful. Mark, thank you for bringing me onto the team and Janie onto the team for that. Thank you, Apocalyptic Unlimited, for, putting it together and giving the rest of us opportunities. And also helping launch House of Dreams with that event. It's really awesome and it's really, really special. Everybody, please go out, vote. Also, Pantsless Tables is also nominated for their Pride streaming event that they did last year. So go out there, vote for our friends. We're both, great folks. We're both doing great things. If you don't vote for us, vote for them. That is Okami's official opinion. Mark, thank you for giving the props to Janie. I really appreciate that. And with that, we're going to go into our game, but I'm going to change things up a little bit. The first question I'm going to skip over because I feel like you guys said you were wintering most of the time in the city of Azure. So I think you're all probably coming from the city of Azure. And the second question is, do we feel our journey has been long? Which is another one that I don't necessarily think applies to this. And Also, is there somewhere we hope to go? I feel like that this sort of collective decision that we were going to winter in Azure has kind of made these questions a little wonky. Uh, but I do still feel like it's important to ask the final question before we do our opening scene. Where is my home? We begin our journey on the deck of a sky ship, sailing through the clouds, cold wind rustling through everyone's fur. The entirety of Kafra's caravan is set up on the deck of this massive sky ship named the Swiftward, which is cutting through the clouds on its way to a festival celebration. When you look down off the side of the railings, you see a beautiful snow-covered moor. Big, huge hills, trees that are kind of craggly and sticking out, and you find yourselves arrived at a place known as the Highlands of Dune. The Highlands of Dune is a windswept moor claimed as home by the clans of Dune, a culture of autonomous clans who refuse to serve any monarch after the tragedies of the last war. They're a culture of bumble herders and expert grasshopper riders. All the clans are bonded by families of kinship and a shared love of drink, song, and dance. The time-honored tradition of bumble runs is how they resolve inter-clan conflicts instead of violent clashes of wars past, using the cleverness to liberate the bumbles of their neighbors, while their neighbors are fully expected to rescue their missing bumbles. In the end, both parties celebrate a feast to show no harm done and brag about the clever ways the bumbles were freed and retrieved. Once a season, the clans gather to celebrate festivals together at the ancient Highlaird Castle, the ancestral residence of the last great chief who united all the clans who fell during the war. The natures of this place. This place is a moor, a quiet place where sharp winds whistle through a stretched out landscape. This place is also a castle, a place designated to keep everything else far outside its walls. The place is also a hillock, a place in the foothills of a great and looming presence. The aesthetics of the Highlands of Dune are a sheltered valley, strange piles of stones, long shadows, a sacred heart, thin mist, and gnarled trees. This place can always describe what we stand in the shadows of, show a threat that's up ahead, ask, what are you worried lies up ahead? And give them a token if you're right. Describe the walls that surround us. Spread worry about a distant threat. Keep someone from entering and give them a token. Describe what makes them feel lonely. Hint at something eerie. Ask what weighs on your mind. Give them a token if they give a satisfying answer. The folklores of this place are the fallen star and the stories she told, the ghost on the parapets, and the devil dog and its prey. Common animal folk are sheep, goats, wolves, boar, and bears. The small forgotten gods here are grims, and when I say grims, I specifically mean the giant black dogs from Celtic mythology, or UK mythology, I should say, because Grimms show up on all of the different islands. Bog folk, wailing ghosts, and moss elves. And this is the place that you are visiting. Now, why did you stop wintering in the city of Azure? That's a really good question. And the answer to that question is that Khafra has been called to vend at their festival that they have. Right now, we are in the month of Snow Blanket, which is the second month of chill. Snow Blanket is the calmer of the months of chill, when the snows are heavy and the air becomes so quiet at night that you feel like you can hear whispers in the wind. Some additional aesthetics as you're on the airship going into this land during this month is the light of a white sun, unbearably bitter cold, and the silence of a sleeping world. The signs of this month are cloudless stars and the countless stars and the crisp sky. Warm and comfortable hearths, a sense of family, and last but not least, the reason why Khafra is going here in the middle of chill is a festival where you build a big bonfire. So, Oken / Mark, with input from everyone else, what is this festival called? And what is its purpose? Other than what its expanded purpose. The purpose is to build a big bonfire, but
Oh, sorry. I'm really bad at this kind of stuff off the rip. My bad.
all good, all good. Would you like me to pass it to a different player?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, Janie, what do you think?
It's called, Festival of the Stars.
Okay. Because there's the countless stars in the crisp sky.
Right, and there's
in this
also
place.
the folklore of the fallen star, and I think it all kind of ties in.
Yes, Festival of the Stars. Like maybe the bonfire is creating your own star. Like the point is to make like a bonfire so big the stars see it.
Yes.
Oh, I love it. I love it. What do you think, Leona?
I second that entirely because I was gonna say that Geeta is very drawn to that folklore. Like it's very interesting to her.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's also losing her mind over the airship. Like I think the entire time that we're on the airship, she's like dancing with the very like the outfit that we had from last session where she had like all the tassels and like she could just feel herself
Yes.
from the wind as she's twirling and like that's very fun for her. So I think between the airship and like the folklore of the fallen stars, she's very, very intrigued by that and like the cozy kind of warmth of having this massive bonfire. So I think her and I are all about that.
Yes.
Can I add something? I just had this idea
Yeah. What do you want to
that
add?
there's a small kind of friendly competition where some of the airships have the fireflies or lanterns, and they just kind of which one looks most or looks like the best kind of depiction of a star falling as they land.
Oh, that's
nice.
so cool. That's so cool. I love it.
A falling star depiction competition with airships.
I'm obsessed. That's so good.
That is so awesome. So do you feel that you arrived at this place in the morning, in the afternoon, or at dusk?
If no one else has an answer, I think I have one.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
I think we arrive in the afternoon. I feel like we've spent most of the morning flying. I think we've arrived at the afternoon. There's like the hustle and bustle of like preparation ongoing. You know, we've heard a little bit about bumble runs. Maybe we've even seen, some bubbles being liberated and put back into their pens, like as we were floating from above. And now we're just like,
Yeah.
okay, it feels like despite the fact that this is like a moor and kind of like a windy, it does also feel like there's like a hustle and bustle, which is kind of
Hmm.
unexpected. Like even the castle is all a buzz, and I think that's I don't know if that's very common around here for it to be so uh hyped up, but it's a good vibe.
No. Yeah. So the airship ends up like landing uh in a courtyard outside of the castle proper. In a place where it looks like kind of designated for like airships to kind of land. The snow's been kind of scooped up and cleared out, so nobody has to step directly into snow once they get off the side of the ship. And when the swift word just kind of lands, because uh and the swift word is like a wooden vessel, and that has like those small god crystals, those god crystals on it that kind of generate it and cause it to kind of fly and float through the air. It doesn't have like a dirigible on it like other airships do. It just sort of flies by magic, and it maneuvers by sails. And it's just it kind of lands, and there's an extension of various rope ladders and planks, as uh, the caravan, like you know all get up and start making their way down. Sheer, who is Kafra's personal caravan guard, he's a tiger, tall, broad of shoulder, dressed, and he's got like a blue like headscarf that he wears. Kind of uh, everything is kind of blue themed with him, like a sky blue linen tunic, uh, silky blue pantaloons, a curved blade at his side that's like jewel encrusted, uh, and he like really cool like blue sash like around his waist. Uh, and he pauses and he's like, "Do you need any help with your luggage, Miss Geeta?"
Is he asking me?
Yes, I was asking you.
Oh, uh, well, um, maybe? Yes? Yes, sure, why not?
Yeah. And he like picks up your bag and a couple other bags too that belong to Kafra, as he uh, just kind of smiles and winks at you and makes his way down to the down
Thank
to
you.
uh, Kafra shimmies up and is just like, "Don't mind him. He's a bit of a flirt."
Yeah, jeez, okay. I think something that I'm realizing about Geeta as well, because I was thinking about this earlier today, is that because she is a dancer, she exudes a lot more confidence than she actually is. And so I think like I appreciate Kafra being like, don't mind him, because at the one hand she's like, right, okay, this is how I'm supposed to act, and then in her head she's like, wait, what just happened? What do I do? Ah, she is surprisingly more lost and confused than she seems.
uh, Thank you all so much for coming along. I have some gifts for you. And she hands all three of you like little kind of packaged bundles. Um, don't wait to open them. Open them now.
If this is toys, I pretty much have all the toys I'm gonna need, so I'm
It's not
good.
toys.
Probably.
It's not toys.
Well, the snacks.
No.
Why don't you open it and find out?
You can have mine.
Oh,
What? I think you're really going to want it, Oken.
It's okay. We'll see about that.
So, Geeta, I'm assuming you opened yours rapidly
yes.
first.
Mhm.
It is a winter coat.
I was
It is
just
a
thinking of buying some furs.
it is a winter coat that is like in your size and your favorite color. So what color is that?
Geeta loves her reds and golds, so I assume it's like a deep, deep red. And she loves it. She puts it on immediately. She was like, "Oh, I was just thinking of going to buy some furs. This is perfect. Thank you, thank you, thank you." She loves the aesthetic of snow. She doesn't like being cold, so she is very
Yep.
eager to be warm.
Yep.
Like, don't get no snow on my paws.
Yeah. Oken, when you finally open it up, it is also a winter coat. That is your favorite color. What color is it?
Ooh, it's clothes, my favorite gift of all time. It's a bright yellow, like hoodie. He's always wearing like a big thick hoodie that kind of goes down from like head to toe.
Nice. Is there a pocket or no pocket?
It's like lots of pockets.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Lots of
Gotta have
pockets.
pockets.
Okay, so you've got like a hoodie, but it's got all these like really pockets kind of sewn around everywhere where you can stash things.
Hoodie, and like in the way that a cloak is like a hoodie.
Yeah. I hear you. Azalea, when you open up yours, it is also a winter coat and your favorite colors and in a style that matches your aesthetic. What does it look like?
It's it's like the deep pink coat with black lace on the what do you call it thing on the bottom?
Trim. On the trim.
Yeah.
Or the hem. The hem,
Yeah, the
actually.
hem.
The
The
hem,
a
yeah.
black lace hem. And
Oh,
I
pretty.
think the buttons are glass.
Mm-mm. Oh my god. I love that. Like, what are they just like clear glass, or is it just like a particular color glass?
They are since it's pink, I'm guessing the glass is black and clear, like maybe a flower pattern, because
Oh,
Azalea
okay.
loves her flowers.
Oh no, of course. Uh and these are the gifts that she gives you. See, it's going to be very cold, and she like has like you notice at this point she has like a fur lined crimson wool like over like she is wearing not like the auntie caftan that she normally wears. Now she's wearing like an actual like wool caftan, that buttons up and is like fur lined in the pockets, because the caftan is a garment that comes in various different cultural types, and this specifically is the kind of wool caftan that has toggles in the front, from Turkey. Is it Turkish caftan? Yes, from like Turkish area that eventually the Vikings like found out about and then brought back up, and it's a whole thing. I've worn one, but she's wearing one of those instead of the what I like to call the auntie caftans. So it's all like a deep red belted wool with really pretty embroidery lined with it always feels weird saying things are lined with fur and Wanderhome, but whatever.
It's
And
different from actual like animal fur. It's a different thing entirely.
it's a different thing entirely. It's bug fur.
It's lined with that stuff that's inside of cattails.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I know what you're
That
talking
fluffy
about. Yeah.
stuff that gets
The fluffy
everywhere.
stuff. Yeah.
Cattails.
No,
The plant.
did I say it
The
wrong? Did I
plant.
pronounce it wrong?
No, the cattails. Plant cattails.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right.
Yeah, they're those brown things that look like corn dogs, but when you cut them open, there's fluff that flies everywhere.
Yep.
It's a natural type of fur.
Yeah. It's a
It
natural
comes
type
off
of
of
fur.
plants and bugs.
Yep. And so once you all get off, so you're like right next to the castle, and there's this massive, huge, like multi-courtyard, multi-room castle. And you see like people kind of shoveling snow out of the way. You see these beautiful regal grasshoppers that everyone is sort of riding on. And here that they've got like cool they have saddles. They're all saddled. They're all riding them, and occasionally one of them will like whoop, like jump like over mounds of snow. And it is incredibly impressive. And there's all a variety of different kinds of kith here. But the one thing that does kind of stand out to all of you is that like almost everyone is wearing these beautiful wool tartans over their clothing, like as an additional accessory of their clothing.
You
All
said
of them
wool?
wool tartans, yes.
Okay.
And when I say tartans, what we would call colloquially a kilt. But like they're a little bit, it's a little bit more than that. Like there's the kilt, but then they also have like the overpiece of the fabric. And or at least the ones that are like mask identifying, like some of the women are also wearing them as well. And you can see like various different grasshoppers also have tartans on them, almost as like identifiers of like the tartans that are on the grasshoppers like match the ones that their rider are wearing. It's kind of like how to like differentiate like whose grasshopper is whose, or at least which group that they belong to. And as you're kind of making your way to try and find, where the setup is going to be for Khafra's caravan, Khafra's like, okay, so do you see all the tartans that they're all wearing? Those are all identifiers of what clan that they are part of. So everyone in the Highlands of Dune, each clan wears different tartans. They have different colors, different patterns. In case you were curious. And it's at that point, she's just kind of looking around. I was like, I'm not sure where we're going to be setting up. And she's just kind of looking around and kind of riding up is a young man he's a fox, dressed in like a really nice like linen shirt. He's got a gray, red, black, like a gray, red, and black and blue tartan, and a various kind of pattern, kind of arranged, with a matching tartan like on the back of his grasshopper. And he rides up and he's like, "Hello, are you in need of help?" Uh, yes, my compatriots and I were wondering. I'm a peddler from the city of Azure, and I'm going to be vending for the festival tonight. And our airship was running a little bit late because of the snowstorms, and we were just wondering where I should set up. Oh, well, oh, let me look at the ledger. And he like goes into like one of his side saddles and pulls up a big piece of paper, and he's like looking through it. What's your name? Oh, Khafra. I see. Ah, oh, Khafra's caravan right here. If you would just follow me. And he get and he gets off of his grasshopper. Excuse my dog. And it's like, all right, Stormcloud, you go ahead and wait for me over at the stables. I'll catch up with you then. And then the grasshopper like nuzzles its head onto his, and he's like, oh, such a needy girl. It's fine. And he's like, follow me, she'll be all right. So, is this your first time visiting the Highlands of Dune?
Well, I know it is for me. What about you, Azalea? Oken?
I've never been there before.
I think I was here a really, really long time ago.
Before the war then?
Yeah.
Yes. Back when we had kings. Ugh. And he like spits on the ground.
Oh, that's rude.
Good. It was intended to be.
Oh.
That's the spirit. Ah, not too much.
Am I
Not too
doing it?
much.
No. Well, I'm
You'll learn. You'll figure it out.
you know kids just can't spit. It's just everywhere.
It just bled everywhere.
Yeah. Over my
I just
shirt.
imagine it just like hitting pockets of snow, you know? Like all right, don't worry, I've got this covered. And he kind of kneels down and looks at you and he's like, I spit when I mention kings because of what they've done to my people. They led us, so many of us, to our deaths for empty glory. And that's why I spit. You don't want to spit just for spitting. You'll lose all the water in your body. And then you'll be a little husk. And he just sort of like boops your nose. And we don't want that.
I think it's okay.
Oh, this lad has spirit. He gets up and continues to lead you all to into like one of the archways that lead you directly into the Highlands castle complex, to a big courtyard where all the snow has been shoveled out. So there's a lovely like stone pathway and a little bit of unfortunately like mossy grounds essentially, where everyone is able to kind of set up their covered wagons and set up a fire and get some pavilions up, as it's starting to go from like late afternoon into dusk. Um, is there anything else you all will be needing? Kafra's like, no, this was incredibly helpful. Thank you so much. And Shear's like, no. uh, Azalea, what would you like to do in this moment before the fox leaves?
I'm not sure. You put me. The fuck?
Is there anything you wanted to ask him? Is there anything anyone wanted to ask them before he headed out?
You know what? I'll ask where the closest place to get something warm to drink is.
Oh, if you head into the feast hall just down the way, and he points to like these big wooden doors that put you into the castle complex proper. If you go between those double doors, it will lead you down to the feast hall where we have an open bar, and there will be plenty of warm drinks there, warm meat, ale, hot tea, whatever strikes your fancy.
Okay. You should probably get something too if you're going to be out here writing in this in a little while.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a good idea. I think I'm gonna go and get something warm to drink before I go catch up with Stormcloud at the stables. Uh, and it's at that point a voice like a bolt of lightning cuts through the quiet murmur of Snow Blanket. Jamie! And that fox like jumps at attention, and riding up on the back of a grasshopper is this tall, broad-shouldered gray wolf wearing the same like blue, gray, black, and slight specks of red tartan. He's got like a scar down like across his eye. Very faint, but you can still see it even through his fur. He's got a side beret on that's of the same, that's like thick woolen, that's kind of hanging over the side, and with just really intense steel gray eyes. And he turns around and says, "Oh, yes, uncle. Where have you been? You were supposed to be patrolling." I was just helping these strangers who just arrived for the festival find where they needed to set up camp. Right. Strangers. And he like is looking at all of you with deep, deep suspicion.
Right. I'm Azalea.
Azalea. And at that point, the wolf's face softens. Azalea,
Yes.
it's me, Dougal. And it's at this point you remember a young wolf, warm, kind, very excited, bought all kinds of herbs and poultices from you. But that was years ago. That was before the war. Surely he couldn't be the same man. It is good to see that you survived.
Azalea's gonna just look and just realize who that is. Like it's gonna take a moment, and then she's just gonna nod, like, "Yes, I did. It was not the greatest of times, but now we're in a good period."
Ah, Kamal. And he like looks over at Kamal, who's kind of been quietly there. You're still alive too? And
Better
Kamal's like,
be.
of course I'm still alive. I had to live for Azalea. Oh. Ah. For the love of a woman, of course. Azalea is more than just a woman. She's a witch. And he says that with so much like reverence and like so much like, hey, Azalea's important. Not just my girlfriend. Of course. Jamie, get you to the stalls, get on Stormcloud. We need to keep patrolling. We have to make sure that these fine folks are kept safe throughout the entirety of the celebration. Azalea, once the sun goes down, please join me and Jamie for drinks over at the feast hall.
Yes, I will. Are my friends welcome too?
Of course.
Okay.
Friends of Azalea the witch, friends of mine.
Introduce yourselves. I'm sorry. Both of you, introduce yourselves.
Right. Yes. Hello. My name is Geeta. I'm a dancer. I'd be happy to provide some entertainment for the evening if that helps.
That would be wonderful. And you, little one.
I'm Oken, no kings and such.
Lad after my own heart. I'm Dougal McDoon, the constable of the Highlands. Please excuse my earlier impertinence. It is my duty to see to it to the safety of this place and all the inhabitants in it.
If I get impertinence, I sometimes have to drink a lot of water, eat a lot of vegetables. Helps me just move things through.
I
Just
think you're
saying.
going to fit in just fine. And he rides off on his grasshopper, and Jamie just exhales. Please excuse my uncle. He's a bit of a character.
He's fine. It's just how he is.
It's okay. I understand where he's coming from.
Kabal's like one of Azalea's many, many suitors that I had to fend off.
It's a long time ago.
Well, if we continue traveling the way we're traveling, we're bound to continue to run into them. It's fine. And he like puts his like big like swan like wing up, and he's like, I like the fact that I can just come around and prove to them that I was the superior lover.
Sorry.
Let's just hope this one doesn't strike me down with that massive sword that he had on his back. We are in a
No,
time
that
of
will
peace.
not happen. That will not happen again.
You are right. We are in a time of peace.
One ear just like turns with the word again.
Kafra's like, and it's funny because like Kafra puts voice to like Geeta's ears, like again. And she just like peeks around, like she was like doing some stuff again. Oh, you have to tell us this story around the fire.
She just crooks one ear, and Cobra's just like, no, spill the tea.
Hey kid, Sheer says to Oken,
Hmm?
you want to get up to some mischief?
Maybe. What are you thinking?
Come on, let's go check out and see what these bumble runs are all about.
Okay, sounds cool.
Okay, so I'm going to say it's going to be about an hour until full sundown. Geeta, is there anything special that you would like to do before sundown?
Ooh, I think Geeta is. I think she's kind of in a headspace where she mostly wants to like help, but also explore. So she'll probably help out Kafra a bit, and then if Kafra is like, "Oh no, we're good," then she'll kind of wander around the castle and kind of see what she stumbles into.
I actually think Kafra actually accepts your help.
Even
I think
better.
she does. I think she accepts your help. Take a token
Yep.
for inconveniencing yourself to help someone else without expecting anything to return. And you get a chance to kind of go through Kafra's stuff.
Ooh.
You get to see all of these beautiful pieces of glass jewelry from Sharon, which is Horus's cousin.
Mm.
Also glass jewelry that Kafra has made herself, herbs, incense, steel tins filled with various different flavors of chai.
Yes.
Which you get a chance to sneak some smells, like as you're like getting all of the wares out, and every single one of the tins is like beautifully like painted and decorated. There are gorgeous scarves and shawls, various different pashminas and kafiyas, and just all kinds of different patterns and weaves. Some of them are cashmere, some of them are cotton, some of them are wool, some of them are blends, and it's just and there's a collection of essential oils and perfumes, and there is just so much stuff. And then when you like kind of take a step back and Kafra's full like storefront is made, you just feel this wonderful sense of accomplishment.
Yeah, that's very satisfying. It looks all nice and aesthetic. It's all ready. Feels pretty good.
Well, why don't we light the lanterns? It's starting to get a bit dark.
Sure, yeah.
And you start lighting like all of these different lanterns throughout the shop, and it's just kind of causing this kind of warm light to kind of flood the little area where everyone is, and it reflects against some of the glass jewelry and the glass bottles of the essential oils, which causes an even more like shining ambient effect. And Kavra just looks back, deeply happily satisfied with what she's seeing, and is like, thank you so much for your help, Geeta. I know that you probably would want to go out and explore, but setting this all up by myself and Sheer's not very good at handling the more delicate things like you are.
Well, thank you. Honestly, it was kind of fun, and I don't know. I get why you like doing this. It's very satisfying work.
Oh, it's so good, and the things that people come and barter for, and it's strange, I travel all over the world, but I keep coming back to Haeth because it's such a special place. In other places, they have coinage and currencies, but here in Haeth, people haven't forgotten that the importance of a good barter, that the needs of the community come first.
I like that.
It's probably a strange thing for a peddler to say, but I don't know. I like Haeth because not everything here is a commodity.
I think that's a reasonable way to peddle. You're not just peddling wares, you're getting something else out of it. Not just, you know, exchanging things for the sake of exchange. You're gaining experiences, and she kind of gestures to the castle as a whole. Um, so that kind of makes sense to me.
I'm so glad that I got invited to the Starlight Festival. It's going to be so wonderful. Just wait till all
Yeah.
the airships get here for the Starfall competition.
Oh, I'm so excited. People keep mentioning this what was it called? The star that fell in the stories she taught people? Is that what it's
Mm-hmm.
called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I I want to hear more about that. I don't know why. It just sounds very interesting.
Me too. So I think the camera is going to pivot to maybe like a little earlier in the day as Sheer and Oken are kind of slinking around the place. And the two of you kind of spot around the corner like a corral with like there's like a corral, and then there's like a hill, and it's kind of dusted in snow, but you see like a bunch of bumbles kind of around. Some of them are like eating what little grass they can make out of in between the snow, and some of them are eating out of like little troughs that have been set up of food. um and sneaking up, the two of you spot uh a young woman who appears to be a sheep. Uh, she's got red hair. She's wearing a different colored tartan than the one that you saw Dougal wearing. Uh, it's this one is like red and yellow with like a little bit of green. And you see her grasshopper just slowly sneaking up and up and up. Oh, looks like she's about to get into some trouble. What do you want to do, kid? You want to help? You want to stop it?
Wait, so the grasshopper is sneaking up, or we're sneaking up?
Yeah, the grasshopper is sneaking up with
Oh,
her on it. She's riding the grasshopper, and she is sneaking up on these bumbles that are
weird.
right
Okay,
now
so
unattended.
weird. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, you're around the corner watching these unattended bumbles.
And we're sneaking up on the grasshopper
Yes, essentially.
that we're on top of riding.
No, you're not on top of a grasshopper. You two are not on a grasshopper. You're around a corner, and around the corner you can see there is a corral, and the corral's open, right? So like next to the corral there's like a little hill, and you see a bunch of bumbles out there, and you see bumbles in the corral, and they're all eating. And then sneaking towards from like the other side, you can see the sheep girl on the back of a grasshopper, and the grasshopper is like sneaking. Like you've usually seen these grasshoppers kind of move or doing the big jumps. You had never seen a grasshopper sneak before, but you're definitely seeing it sneak. And she's got like a rope in her hand, and she looks like she's up to no good.
Let's just see what happens.
Okay, let's watch. And she comes over and throws out a rope that splits into like multiple like rings, goes around a bunch of bumbles, and then takes off and like leaps on the grasshopper leaps up into the air. She's holding onto the saddle, and these bumbles just like their little wings come out and kind of buzz, and she just like floats them all away over the hill, and you can see her far away, like riding the rope trailing down, and the bumbles are like following her, and you hear, "Oh, Bumble run!" And all of a sudden, like, come out of nowhere, leaping on the backs of crickets. They just start following her and pursuing her. And Jamie, with a wicked smile on his face as he rides past you guys, extends out a hand to you.
So what are we doing? What's going on?
Do you grab his hand?
Yes.
Actually, when you ask, he's like, "Bumble run. Do you want to come along?"
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah.
And Jamie pulls you up onto the to the back of his grasshopper, and he's like, "Hold on tight." And you leap in the air on the grasshopper, leaving Sheer behind. You're dashing through the snow, and the grasshoppers are like interpelling, right? Like some of them, sometimes they're moving, and then sometimes they just leap, and like they leap over the moors and the hills, and you are just like giving chase to this sheep girl, like who is single-handedly evading like 10 grasshopper riders as she is stealing like a flock of bumbles by herself. And at a certain point, you're getting to like a wooded area, and then you see her muscles bulge, and she pulls the bumbles, and the bumbles fly through the air over her head and go into the forested area and disappear as she like you hear them all and everyone kind of slows down, and she kind of turns around and she's like, "Sorry, boys. Seems like you missed out this time. Brianna, it is the Festival of Stars. Never a better time for a bumble run. Good luck getting them back." Oh, and they all like look super frustrated. And he's like, "Brianna, oh, hello, Jamie. Aren't you glad you lost to me again?" "Well, you didn't exactly lose. We're going to be able to get it back eventually. I want you to meet somebody new. This is my new friend, Oken." "Well, hello, Oken. What are you doing running around with the clouds? Is this your first bumble run?"
Yeah, my first bumble run's pretty good. That was a pretty good move right there.
"Do you usually spit on the ground in the places where you come from?"
Everyone does it here. Why don't you give it a try?
"Jamie, did you teach him to spit on the ground while mentioning the name of the king?" And then like 4, 5 people behind him all go and spit on the ground.
See?
Gross. Only the clan of Dune does ground spitting whenever a king is mentioned. And then they go, and they all go in unison, go and spit all at once. Except for Jamie. Jamie's trying to keep his cool. But he's like, it's just a symbol of what he's done to us. It's a sign of respect. It's a sign of grossness. That's what it's a sign of.
I thought it was because we were angry.
Well, that too. I'll catch up with all of you when the sun goes down. And now that I have defeated you in my victory, I totally expect all of you to steal those bumbles back. And then we're going to drink, and then we're going to feast. And they all like kind of grumble at that. And Jamie's like, come on, Oken. Let's make our way back to the war.
Wait, can I go with her?
If you like. That way you can spend some time with, an actual successful bumble runner.
Yeah, you guys are nerds. Can't even run on bumbles.
Jamie's like, you know what? I think it'd be really good job for the lad if you can put you on it. And then he like very quickly like put you on the back of Brandon. Go. And like as the rest of this clan like turns around like kind of angrily, like, what did this child say? And you and Brianna are just blasting out across the moors, covered in snow. And Brianna asks the question, do you want my opinion?
About what?
Well, why I think Jamie brought you on the bumble run.
Oh, okay.
I think he was trying to impress you and failed spectacularly because he made the mistake of challenging me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're pretty cool. Like, look at your arms; they're so cool, and you're big.
Ah, yes. Supposedly, my family is descended from giants. Well, all of Clan O'Connell is descended from giants. It's where I get my strength from.
Yeah, but like you're also like triad, you know.
Yeah. I'm gonna make a little move as the place, and I would like to describe what we stand in the shadows of. As you ride across the snow-covered moors, eventually you come upon an area around the wooded area that she threw all the bumbles in, where there's these massive circle of stones. You hear beautiful music echoing off in the distance, kind of in the direction of the castle, but it seems like the music is like hitting, the hillocks of the moors, like bouncing off of them in just the right way. And she like goes up the hill where the circle of stones are, and she's like, from up here you can get a view of nearly all of the Highlands. Want to take a look?
Yeah, let's look.
She takes you over to kind of the edge of the area, like up where the standing stones are. You see all these like interesting old symbols on them that you don't recognize, and your ring that you keep hidden starts to vibrate when you enter the circle. It's like a strange warmth. There's just something about this place. When you look across the moor and you see this kind of stark white landscape that's only interrupted by the occasional gnarled tree and the ruins of Highland Castle. How does this place make you feel, Oken?
I think a sense of wonder comes over Oken. Yeah, just a sense of wonder and all at this new and strange and wonderful place.
And then you can see a spectacular sunset dipping behind Highland Castle. And as the sun dips below the horizon, you hear a loud cheer as coming from the woods, because you got a great vantage point up here at the Standing Stones. You see the bumbles like being taken back to the castle, and she's like, well, I guess they must have found my cousin's hidden ranch. Oh well. I'll just steal them back tomorrow. How'd you like a hot cider?
With marshmallows?
No. Marshmallows are for hot chocolate. You don't want to put marshmallows in hot cider.
Have you tried it?
Now that I think about it, no, I haven't.
See?
Well, no day like the Festival of the Stars to try something new. Let's go.
Exactly. Yes.
They probably have made apple infused marshmallows.
Oh,
So
yes.
it tastes really good with the cider. Maybe they have some cinnamon on them.
Yeah, I think I want to do. Yeah, I think I want to do.
Healthy food.
I want to do a little smash cut of Azalea and Kamal pulling out these apple infused marshmallows to put in everyone's cider over
Yes.
at the feast hall. And Geeta, you're also out there in the feast hall. You're all having drinks, having hot cider, and everyone is just sort of, enjoying one another's company. Dougal is there, Jamie is there, Brianna is there, and it's just filled with people drinking, singing songs, and while you're all just sort of sharing fellowship, uh, enjoying the warm drinks, chasing away the cold, there's a roaring fire in this feast hall as well that's keeping everyone warm. When this woman, this tall, and somewhat imposing bear woman, she bear, uh, walks up, and she's in this beautiful long dress with an overdress on it, a surcoat dress that kind of ties up in the front, and then she has sort of a tartan over it that she's wearing almost ceremonially as she approaches all of you, and uh she's got these long kind of braids that have all kinds of beads and shells and whatnot in the braids, and they all Dougal and Jamie stand up at attention, and she says, "Be at ease." And they both sit down. It's a pleasure to meet you, visitors. I'm Maggie, the matriarch of Clan Dune. I have come here because I wish to ask a favor of you. And emotions over to Geeta. I heard that you are a dancer.
Yes, I am.
Well, it is tradition, the Festival of Stars, that we have a dancer tending to the bonfire, the Eternal
Oh,
Star, the festival. And I wanted to offer you the hospitality of the bonfire. We will offer you food and water and whatever ale or other spirits you would like, if you would be willing to dance for the festival until the rising of the sun.
yes, of course, I'd be honored.
It's a
She seems
very
a little.
it's a very tiring endeavor, but it is not often that we are visited by a true dancer that is the tied to the ancient magics of the land.
She
And
seems almost a little flustered because clearly she's being visited by this matriarch who seems very powerful, and she's just at the same time being asked to do something really terrifying but also really really exciting, and she's like, right, well, like I said, it's an honor. I can't say I've ever done anything like that, but I would really love to try.
please take a moment with your friends and family to enjoy the festival. And when the witching hour comes, well, not exactly the witching hour, when midnight comes,
He winks at Azalea when the word witching hour happens.
You will be fetched. As I said, be fed whatever drinks you would like and treated as an honored guest for the rest of the night.
Oh gosh. Well, thank you so much.
We will send for you when the dancing must begin. Thank you for honoring us.
Thank you. I think the honor is mine. She waits until this person is just out of earshot and then turns to everyone else and goes, "What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do?"
You dance.
Yeah, I mean that part's obvious, but like
Google says
I don't-
it's a great honor to be doing this. Just go, keep yourself warm by the fire, keep yourself fed, and just dance. The stars will watch you.
okay, I can do it. I've never been an honored guest before, but it's really cool. I'm nervous, but I think it'll be fun.
If you want, I can help you.
Yeah,
I've been practicing my moves.
I'd love to have you join me for a dance. That'd be so fun.
Azalea's going to,
Go
sorry,
ahead. No, go ahead.
Azalea's going to just work with her hands for a moment and give you a little bracelet and just say this is just something to help you be feel a little braver.
Thank you.
It's just like string and a couple of beads. It's nothing fancy. It's just a little gift.
Oh, would you like to make a move tied with that?
Yes. Um, just got to look at it and make sure I'm getting it correct.
Mhm.
Um, do you have a suggestion?
Yeah. I
Okay.
always have suggestions. Are you kidding me? I love suggestions. Do you actually have a token to spend?
Yes, I have tons of tokens.
Yeah, you can say give something that has the potential to change someone fundamentally.
Yes, I'm going to do that.
Okay. So what kind of so this move has a lot of flexibility, Janie. So if you want to add some cool witchy magic to what you've gifted to Geeta, like is there something that you would want special that would has the potential to change
I want to give Geeta um, the kind of confidence that comes with stage presence or stage presence that you get from being more confident.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, I was already gonna say that like as soon as she takes the bracelet, she does feel calmer because she has like a token of her friends. But I definitely think like she puts the bracelet on and you see her like her fur was just definitely a little bit standing on the end and it all kind of smooths down and calms and like you see her and she's like stands a little taller. She seems like so much more confident now and she's like, "You're right. I can do this. It's gonna be so much fun."
And that kind of confidence kind of, demands some attention, but it's good attention. It's, wow,
Yeah.
look at what this person can do.
Yeah. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
uh you end up kind of finishing up your drinks. Geeta, you are fetched.
Mhm.
Oken goes along and uh Kamal turns to Azalea and says, I at least want to see the first dance. And takes your hand and kind of like, come on, let's go. Uh and has you follow. You get taken out to kind of behind the castle where there is a massive bonfire. You see a bunch of kith with instruments, drums, bagpipes, flutes, harps are all just playing like they're putting on a concert for this bonfire. And the sun has gone down and the sky is just a dome of stars. And so many people are out here in warm winter coats and blankets. They may have all these makeshift benches that they've set up where people can sit by the fire. And uh, you you are led up by Maggie, by matriarch Maggie, um, and a moment of quiet, everyone. The gods, great and small, have seemed to bless us with the presence of a dancer. Geeta of Indra is going to be joining us tonight. And we'll be dancing underneath the stars to draw the eyes of those stars to our star, continuing the stories we were told. Everyone watch, everyone care. Prepare food, prepare water, prepare spirits, so that Geeta may be able to dance until the sun rises. And then everyone like cheers, like a little small like fox kit like comes up and offers you like a package of like warm, like it's wrapped in like rice paper, but like you can feel the warmth on the inside, and he gives you some sort of like you're not sure if it's candy or if it's a baked good, but he's like, happy festival of stars, this has a lot of
Thank,
sugar in it, it'll keep you awake.
thank you. Happy Festival of Stars. And she'll
Happy
take it.
festival of happy festival of stars. As like a younger she bear like comes up and hands you like a cup of like warm cider, which you've had some, but like it's another cup. And this one is like spiced with like herbs and whatnot. I promise you this will, it has a bit of cardamom in it and it'll keep you awake.
My favorite.
uh and these people all come around and offer you all of this love and support for what will be a physically exhausting endeavor. And give us the final moments that we're going to have with Geeta for the rest of this visit. What does the dance look like? And what will the dance look like should you when your companions return to observe it throughout the evening?
Hmm. I think this is maybe one of the biggest challenges that Geeta has had to deal with in her life so far. And I think for her, because it is such a big challenge, she kind of goes through everything she's learned, every dance that she's learned along the way. Like she starts with dances that come from Indra, and then she kind of moves into other dances that she's learned. Like every hour, it kind of changes because she spends like an hour working on like dances from Indra. She's got some dances that she knows that are from Indra that do speed up gradually over the course of an hour. Specifically one dance that is a circle dance around the entire fire, which it
Mhm.
takes her a long time to make a lap, but as she kind of guides, she kind of coaches the musicians to be like, no, no, slowly raise the pace, like over the course of an hour, like really drag it out, and so as she does that, and you see her slowly like going faster and faster around it. So you see that dance, you see other dances from Indra, and then as the night kind of progresses, like dances from other places that she's visited along the way, dances that she's learned, dances that she's willing to share with others. She'll invite other people to join her if they look like they're really like keen to get involved.
Mhm.
She'll make the same offer to her friends whenever they arrive. But yeah, it's kind of, there's a lot of twirling, a lot of clapping, a lot of like flourishes, and I don't know, there's just a little bit of everything. Dance, I think, for her is something that is not just a performance but also something to be shared. And like even when she seems tired, the fact that there is all of this like excitement and momentum, especially when someone else joins her, you see how it like takes her away from her tiredness and brings her back to life. So yeah, I think she really tries to get everyone involved in it as much as possible.
All right. And with that, we're going to go on break. We're going to say farewell to the amazing Leona because real life comes first. And when we return, we'll continue our journey with Oken and Azalea and see how the rest of their night in the Highlands of Dune during the Festival of Stars continues. All right, and we're back. So we're going to have a little scene, maybe a couple scenes. See what happens, with Oken and Azalea and Kamal for the rest of the night. Oken, I'm assuming there's a couple times, during the night where you go and you just dance with Geeta and help her out like you promised. But is there anything that you would like to do or explore in the Festival of Stars in this moment? Or do you just kind of want to stick with Azalea and Kamal for the rest of the evening?
What else is there? What's going on? What else is around?
There's vendors. They're having a drinking contest in the feast hall. There is the full palace grounds. There is like cricket riding and racing going on. Just like I said, it's a big party of all kinds of different kith from all over the Highlands.
I think I'm gonna find other kids doing stuff.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna look for other kids. You're looking around, looking for other kids, and you see 3 or 4 kids, like a bear cub, a fox kit, a little boar piglet, not wearing tartans. They don't usually encourage the children to wear those because they want them all to kind of all grow up together, as like one big mega family essentially. And you see them kind of running around, and you see them go through a crack in the side of the walls of the castle. Do you want to follow them?
Yeah, let's check it out.
So you go through the crack following them, and find yourself in this sort of like dusty old like wing of the castle. And the little boar piglet is like, "Hey, who are you?"
Name's Oken. What are you guys doing?
Oh, we just decided to explore some of the parts of the castle that we haven't seen, or I don't think anyone else has seen. Um, uh, my name is Ryan.
Cool. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. And he like looks over at the wolf cub girl. Uh, this is Lyra, and the fox kit. He's like, and what would you say that the fox kit's name is? What name comes out of his mouth?
Oh, sorry. I'm so brain dead today.
It's all good.
George.
George. And this is George. Hi, I'm George. All right, everyone. Be careful. hear that there's wailing ghosts around here.
There's really ghosts?
Yeah, Lyra says. Like, of course there's ghosts. There's ghosts all over the Highlands. Lots of people have died here.
And they come back as ghosts?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
For
interesting.
revenge.
So they must die pretty violently then.
Well, my parents said that there was a really large war here, and there have always been wars here in the moors. Sometimes between clans, sometimes because of kings. So, as a result, the moors have lots of ghosts.
Do they just keep fighting after death?
Mm, sometimes. Sometimes not. I'm not really sure. I've never seen one. I've heard them, though, wailing out in the moors.
What if they're just like singing a song together?
Lyra tilts her head. That's definitely something to think about. Well, if it's a song, it's a scary one.
But maybe they're just like out of tune. Like they just need to figure out the right tune that they can sing together, and it won't be so scary.
Whoa, what is this? You hear from deeper in the castle as you realize that George is missing. We should catch up. And Lyra starts heading, takes her lantern and starts lighting the way for you and Ryan to catch up. So you get to the far wall of this place and you see what George is looking at. It is a massive, massive tapestry. And this tapestry is showing a huge, it's depicting a big, epic battle on the moors of just like various kith in these colored tartans battling other kith that are not wearing tartans. It's like the very like kind of distinct thing between the two. One side has the grasshopper steeds, and then the other half have stag beetle, like beetles, massive like flying beetle steeds. Whoa. Have you ever seen anything like this?
No. So this is the war they fought? Was it really like this?
I've never seen anything like this before. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't.
What were they fighting for?
I don't know.
Well, war is stupid. No one should just fight for nothing or just die for nothing.
It's at that point you see George reach out to touch the tapestry, and then he just disappears. George, and you see her like go over and touch the tapestry, and when she touches it, Lyra disappears. Well, Ryan is like, what do we do? Should we go get a grown up?
No, those are your friends. We gotta help them.
I don't know how. They just disappeared.
You just gotta be brave, and we'll figure it out.
Okay. Well, they touched it, and when they touched it, they disappeared. And he like looks around on the floor. I don't see anything on the floor.
What are you looking for?
He's like looking, and he's just like, I don't know, maybe some kind of symbol like the ones on the standing stones out on the moors.
A symbol? Like, okay. What happens when you find a symbol? Your friends are in danger, but we should help them.
Okay, I don't quite. Oh, all right. I'm going to. And he reaches out and he goes to touch it to see if maybe there's like a doorknob or something, and then he disappears. You do.
At that moment, my stomach starts to rumble, and I consider. Wow, I was like, man, I'm really hungry right now. Oh, but these guys are in trouble. But there's food over there. Oh, but they're in trouble. Oh, I guess I'll help. I'm gonna go touch the thing.
You touch the tapestry, and for a moment, it feels like the world is turned upside down and all around, and you find yourself on a battlefield where grasshoppers are running, where armored kith are crashing and smashing into one another. And Lyra says, "Come down here quick!" And a hand shoots out of what looks to be like a bunch of like foliage that where the ground is up, and she like is reaching her hand out as she seems to be in some kind of like ground shelter. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out, get her hand.
Yeah, she takes your hand and pulls you and slams the roof down just as you're a grasshopper was getting ready to trample over you. We found this little pocket area under here. There's all kinds of weird stuff down here. Our lantern illuminates this like small like underground area where you can see there's all these crates with weapons and munitions and the different kinds of things that one would need to like resupply or deal with a siege, and all of the kids are down there.
What just happened? Where are we?
I don't know. It looks like the battle that was in the tapestry is where we are.
We're inside the tapestry?
I think so.
Okay, that's kind of cool, actually. What should we do? How should we get out of here?
I'm not really sure. I'm really sorry that I touched it. I'm not
It's
quite
too late. It's too late to be sorry now. We got to figure out how to get out of here safely.
Yeah, I hear you. And then everything goes quiet. You don't hear the hoofbeats. You don't hear the ringing of steel. You don't hear the shouting. Lyra's like, wait, let me take a look up top. She heads over. She pushes up the hatch, pokes her head out, and looks around. Whoa. Guys, you gotta come here and see this. And the other kids like reluctantly go up the stairs, these little wooden stairs, and poke their heads out of the hatch. What do you do?
Gonna follow suit.
When you poke your head out of the hatch and you look around, it's at that time you realize you are in the middle. Everything is frozen in place. Not in like an ice way, but like in a mannequin way, like in a mannequin challenge way. And you are in the middle of the event that the tapestry is depicting. And everyone is frozen in that moment of time. And it is like down to the smallest droplet of dirt and blood hovering in the air. Wow. You know, my mom says when things happen like this, they're meant to teach lessons. I'm not really sure what lesson we're supposed to be learning here.
I'm not sure either.
Meanwhile, back at the festival, Azalea, what are you and Kamal up to?
I think Azalea is probably sitting there quietly. She's used her wondrous tea set
Mm-hmm.
and is having some tea and is was probably watching Geeta dance, and just out of nowhere, she's like, "I wonder what Oken's up to."
And, and as you think that, you take a sip of tea. All you feel a shockwave of magic. You can't see it, but you can feel it. Something deep in the castle. Some old relic
Is it
has
anything
awakened.
familiar? Is it anything familiar to me?
It feels like um it's vaguely familiar. It feels almost like memory magic. Which is kind of your specialty, but on like a big scale.
Right. Like, can I tell where it's coming from? So
Yes,
I need to know
inside.
if I'm
Yes,
going to take
inside the
off.
castle. Yeah, like inside the castle. You can definitely sense where it's coming from.
I'm going to hurry up and sweep my tea kit together and just head that way. I'm hoping Kamal is following me.
Yeah, Kamal follow. Yeah, if you don't say anything and like just get up and bolt, he like
Yeah.
gets up and he follows you. Your senses are leading you. Oh, there's a crack in the side of the wall here. It's barely big enough for you to fit in.
I'm going through it. Like, there's something magic going on. I need to know if there's something I have to fix.
Right. Wait, where are you going? It's just like Kamal like follows you into this, like I said, this dusty, abandoned wing of the castle.
Kamal, there's a memory spell, some kind of large scale happening. I need to look into this.
Uh I am going to hint at something eerie. As you go into this place, it is very dark. It is barely lit by ambient firelight from behind you and moonlight coming in from holes in the ceiling of this place. And you can hear the faint echoes of a sound that you haven't heard in a very long time that probably sends a shiver up your spine, as it is the sound of clashing swords, the hoof prints of grasshoppers and beetles, and the sound of yelling, the sound of mass scale battle. It sounds muffled and distant.
Azalea is going to freeze when she realizes this, and you're just going to kind of see her countenance kind of change to more formal, like not formal, that's not the word. Like attention, like she's
Mhm.
at attention, like she's ready. She's trying to find threats now.
Uh, as you're just sort of investigating this strange wing, um, Kamal turns on a lantern that illuminates, and you're kind of caught off guard as you see that what the sound is coming from. It appears to be emitting from this massive tapestry depicting a battle. And I'm going to describe the walls that surround you. And you see this massive tapestry. It's taking the entire wall. It would have taken like a huge loom and hours of man hours to depict this massive of a scene. And I'm going to make another place move and show a threat that's up ahead. But I'm going to kind of interpret that a little differently. Azalea, you notice something very strange about this tapestry. As you could see, in the middle of it is like what looks to be a hatch, like a door hatch with like leaves and roots and branches on top of it meant to camouflage it, and the faces of 4 children peeking out and looking around the battlefield, and one of them looks like Oken. Like someone perfectly wove a image of Oken into this incredibly ancient tapestry. You know textiles. You know, it's one of the things that you learned, as a witch, is how to sew and fabric and whatnot. And it looks like Oken is trapped in this place.
Okay. I look. Is there any weapons around, like any decorative swords or anything?
Yeah, sure. There could probably be like a decorative piece of armor. It's a little rusty, but it's got a sword on it.
Okay. Azalea is going to grab it.
Okay.
She's going to. You're going to see like the finery come off, and just like the basics. She's going to grab the sword, and she's going to go to the. She's like, I hope I'm doing this right. Kamal, I need to get Oken. He's trapped in there.
Oh, of course. Do you want me to wait out here and keep watch? Do you want me to keep help? What? And what are you going to do with the sword?
I don't know, but look what's happening out there. It's a war scene.
You're not going alone. And he takes the hand that doesn't have the sword on it, and do you like leap into the tapestry?
Yes.
So you take a leap of faith, and the two of you are in the midst of what looks to be a frozen scene. Nothing is moving, but it looks like they're all like frozen. Like I said, mannequin challenge style, all around you. And the only thing that's actually moving is, well, the 3 children in Oken that are looking around with their heads poked outside the hatch. They haven't spotted you yet, but you can see them.
Okay, we have to be quick. I don't know how long this is going to last like this.
Absolutely. You start making your way across this battlefield, and it is an unnerving sight as you're stepping over bodies, ducking over bodies that are being hurled midair. Like, this is a dark moment in High's history that you are maneuvering through. Okay. It's at this point you notice Azalea, not in finery, but in her like basic clothes, holding a sword, heading towards you with Kamal in tow. What do you say? What do you do?
Guys, it's my friend Azalea. Can I help us?
Oh, wow. Does she have like magic or something?
Maybe. She got a sword. Look.
Oh, it's at that point, as you're making the mad dash across this battlefield, you see everything is starting to rewind. Like, well, first things start to move, which is alarming, but you realize no one is moving forward. Everyone is moving backwards. They're going back onto steeds they were knocked off of. They're getting unclocked over the head. They're getting up from when they were struck down. And you just see it just kind of winding back from the scene that you saw. And when you finally get to the hatch where all of the children are, the battlefield is cleared, and then you hear loud barreling trumpets. For the king of the floating mountain, for the clans of the Highland of June. Ah! And then, like, whoosh, the soldiers from both sides start coming into the moor once again. What do you all do?
Azalea will. How far is she from the children?
No, you're right by the children. Like, all of that shouting, all of that noise doesn't happen until you get right next to the children.
Okay. And it's 4.
Yes.
Okay. So it's not like I could just like sweep them up on a horse or something and take
No,
off.
you can't. Yeah, you can't just sweep them up on a grasshopper and take off. And unfortunately, the only available grasshoppers are far from you now, but they're about not to be, if you catch my drift.
Okay. Can I describe something else I thought would be really cool too?
Yeah, go ahead. What do
There's
you want
some
to
of
try?
those giant roly-poly bugs,
Yeah.
and they're like barreling towards us too.
Yes, absolutely. Let's go for that. There's some of those as well.
So instead, Azalea's just going to sweep everybody back into the hatch
Mhm.
just to try to figure out how to get all of these children and her boyfriend out of there.
You shut the hatch and you see that you're in this little kind of resupply area, like a place, in the middle of the battle that you can go and like get a replacement sword or water or something. Kamal is like, "Oh, hello, children. I am Kamal. My partner Azalea and I are here to try and help get you out. How exactly did we get into this predicament?"
We touched the tapestry, and now we're here.
My goodness, that is an incredibly dangerous tapestry. Um,
It's okay. I can fix this.
let me see. Uh, Kamal. Moment. Huh. Hopefully, we don't run into the person that was trapped in here. And he just says that out of the way, out of the blue.
Who was trapped in here?
What?
You
Oh,
spoke out loud.
oh, uh, hmm. He pulls out his cards and he sits down. He starts doing a spread. And I'm going to make a move. Tell someone the bad news about what their future holds. If they want to defy you, they'll need to spend a token. This place, and you can see the cards starting to kind of animate, was woven to imprison a king, to end a war, and finally bring peace. And that king is here. Don't know where, but he's trapped in this battle and in this tapestry. And we are trapped with him forever.
No. And Azalea starts working with her hands. She is okay, is she able to mix 2 different magics? If
Yes.
I can use tokens or whatever.
If you spend a token to defy him, then you can defy him by mixing magic, essentially.
Okay. So we were just at this great festival of the stars.
Mhm.
And Azalea, she takes little bits and pieces from things so she can make her memories. She's going to take those little bits and pieces and weave them into charms.
Oh, okay. So while Azalea is weaving these charms, uh, Oken, what are you doing?
I think Oken's trying best to keep everyone calm, keep the kids calm, and not panic too much.
It's at that point you feel like your ring start to get warm, and you hear like a masculine voice that you don't recognize kind of echoing around. And at first you think it might be in your head, but then everyone seems to be hearing it, even you, Azalea. It says, wait, there's something powerful here. Something that may be able to break my prison. Where is it? And like, you feel like that voice can sense your ring, even though you're hiding it from everyone, Oken.
As Azalea finishes the charms, each one she's going to try to put it. She's going to start with the kids and try to put it around their necks.
Mm-hmm.
And what she's tried to do is to give them the memory of the festival within the charm, so
Oh,
that like a home button. I don't know what else to
the
call
home
it.
button. Uh,
She's
you,
using a lot of her magic for this. This is
yeah.
probably exhausting.
So you put the charm on, and that sort of feeling of being watched, Oken, that you had when you heard the voice just dissipates as soon as the charm is around your neck. Um, Everyone has their charms on, and this kind of sense of relief just kind of washes over all of you. Uh, and then you hear silence. Wait, what? Why did it go quiet all of a sudden? And Lyra looks up. Oh, it's resetting. Uh, if we look up there, everything will be frozen.
Where did you
Oh,
all come in at? Where did you all come into this tapestry at?
uh, uh, up there, Lyra, the wolf girl says. She points to the ceiling of the where you are at.
I think you have to go back there. The charms I made you, I'm hoping they'll break through and get you home.
Uh, oh, okay. Lyra, being the bravest of them, uh, heads up the stairs and pushes the hatch open. All of you, one by one, emerge back onto the frozen battlefield. You can feel the charms starting to glow and kind of pulling you. You hear like the distant sounds of the festival beckoning you back. What do you all do?
I tell the children to go back now, very forcefully.
The children are rushing past the battlefield, trying to go back to where they first arrived. Oken, do you follow them, or are you staying with Azalea?
Yeah, definitely follow the kids,
Okay.
the rest of the kids.
We should go as well, love. Us too, love. Kamal says as he just like
Yeah,
emerges from and
I'm right behind you. Just
you're
really.
all like, yes, you're all rushing to the battlefield, trying to get to like the central point where the perspective of the tapestry is. And I am going to, and as you move there, one of the people on the battlefield, the one wearing an iron ruby encrusted crown, a bear, a black bear, uh, slowly turns his head, looking menacingly at Oken and the rest of you as he's through pure will trying to move and turn towards all of you, slowly breaking out, and you hear this slowed down voice say, "You, the ring." And like as that word ring starts to become this loud, all encompassing like roar, poof, you're all like, the charms all get very kind of warm and start to glow as you all reach the point of exit of the tapestry and all fall out of the tapestry and back into the big, huge abandoned wing of the castle.
Are you all okay?
Uh-huh. Yeah. And Lara screams as she points to the tapestry.
What's
You see in the center of the tapestry's changed. You see the bear king, his face twisted and angry, reaching out, but still frozen there in the tapestry.
I need you children to go home or to your families, and could you see if they could send someone who can do some magic? I think we need to strengthen this.
Okay. And they like not even worried about getting in trouble. Like they just beat feet back to the crack in the wall. Kamal is like, that was a powerful curse.
Yeah.
Ring? Do you have any talismans on you, my love?
I don't think so. I don't think I have. I mean, I have, and she knows she's got the bracelet that came out of the book and a couple of other little things, but she looks for a ring. Like she looks through all of her things.
You don't see one.
Do you have one, Kamal?
No. Nothing other than the promise ring that you gave me.
Oken, do you have a ring?
No.
Okay. Oh,
Well,
are you sure?
I don't. Is the boy sure? Of course. Are we sure? No one has a ring here. Obviously, it must have been one of the other children.
I mean, it is a scary haunted tapestry. Why do we trust that it's anything it says is accurate?
Because you didn't feel it.
Okay. I might have a ring, but that's none of his business.
Oken,
No,
why would you? We're your friends. We're your family. Why would you lie to us?
Oken's
Wait
a
a minute,
kid. That's what kids do.
Yeah, you're dating my friend. Don't you family me.
This is what kids do. I've worked with kids so much. Oken, if you have the ring, could I see it?
You see the eyes on the tapestry.
Well,
Like,
maybe not.
Move to Oken.
No, and I want to turn to the tapestry. You go back to your war. This is between us.
Maybe we should just set it on fire and go.
No, it's magic. We have to. If he's getting this close, if it broke, we have to strengthen it somehow. I don't know how much more.
You hear a voice behind you, far behind, that says, "Here, children. All right. And then your footsteps emerging and coming out into the light of Kamal's lantern is Maggie. I heard that there was some issue
Yeah.
by the 1,000 small gods of the morn. That's not good.
No. The children touched it. Somehow we're entered into the tapestry. We were able to get them out. There is an item that thing wants that. So I think we need to strengthen this so that this magic stays in place.
I can think of one way to strengthen it. She snaps her bare paws, and you see a ball of fire appear in her
Perfect.
hands.
If you think that'll work, then
Kamal just like looks down at Oken and shrugs. Cleanse it
he
with
won't.
fire.
He won't
And
get
she
out,
just-
right?
She puts. She hesitates. No. But he will be dead.
After what he did, maybe he deserves it.
I know, but
Sorry.
taking a life changes people.
Then I'll do it.
No, you're a guest. And this castle and these people are my responsibility. I just never thought that I would ever have to take a life in a time of peace. But if it is to endure, and for all of us to be safe, the time for this prison and for this king must end.
I don't have a. I don't know if I could, because I could tell this is really bothering her. Could I ease it for just a moment by spending a token?
Yes, absolutely. How narratively would you like to do that?
I'm going to. I'm going to go next to her and I'm going to say, I've spent a lot of time here in the past. I'm not a guest. This is a home. And I'm going to stand beside you as we do this together.
She takes a deep breath, reaches out, and I say you put your palm under hers.
Yeah.
And you can feel your magic intertwine with hers. And she puts the paw under the tapestry, and then you could see the flames lick up and curl and burn. And you could see like fire appearing like in the tapestry, even as the real fire is coming up. And eventually the whole thing goes up into flames, and you hear, ah, give me the ring so I might be free. And the voice is cut off by one last combustion of fire. And all that is in front of you is a blackened, charred wall.
I'll sweep these up and discard of them properly.
Yes, of course. Let me try and. I've known this castle since I was a girl. I will navigate us back to safety.
Thank you.
Time is taken to sweep up the ashes, put them away. You're able to save some of it because, that might be useful later for whatever witchy purpose you might have. And Maggie guides the two of you through this forgotten wing of the castle, eventually finding like another break in the wall that leads to the outside. And when you get out there, he says, You're very brave, little Oken. You'll certainly have a place here if you decided to stay with the clans.
Hector, can you speak up a little bit?
Oh.
It's coming in real quiet.
No worries. She's like, you're very brave, little Oken. And if you decided to stay, you would assuredly have a place with the clans.
No, I've got another destination, another journey to be on. I don't think this is the place for me.
We all have our own journeys. And Maggie starts making her way back to the bonfire where Geeta is dancing. Kamal's like, well, that was quite the adventure.
Are you all right, Oken?
Yeah, well, been better, but not too bad overall. Hungry.
Let me get you a plate.
Yeah, let's go get some food. And the two of you head off. You get some food, some snacks, and through the night, Geeta continues dancing. After you have a full meal, is there anything in particular the two of you would like to do before you bed down for the night?
Thanks for saving us. How did you know we were there?
I could feel the magic, and when I thought I wondered where you were, and then I felt the magic, and I knew I had to do something.
That's pretty cool. We could have been in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, but I think you would have been okay.
I don't think I could have gotten out of that one on my own.
Well, keep the talisman that I made you. Okay, you're stronger than you think you are,
Well,
and you're smarter than you think you are.
Well, I know I'm keeping mine. But then again, I always treasure anything that you make for me.
And here, I'll put a little bit more magic into yours just so that you can have that. And if I'm not here, if you're by yourself, you know that you're strong enough to get through something. You're smart enough to get through it. You could have gotten out of that. I know you could have.
Thank you. I'll remember that for next time.
And so, I've been around for a while, and I've been around people who can't get out of situations like that. So I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I've been around some people who really should not be left out of the house alone.
When Azalea says that, your ring once again gets warm, and you hear 66 voices all saying in unison, we could have gotten you out. You can always rely on us, 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 us.
Sorry, I couldn't hear any of that.
We could get you out.
Maybe it's on my end. Are you? Oh, sorry, so sorry. Sorry. I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. So your ring gets warm,
Mm-hmm.
and in response to what Azalea said, you hear, we could have gotten you out. You can always rely on us. And it's echoing. It's like 66 different voices all saying this in unison. And the word us, it's repeated many, many times more than 66. Us, 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 us.
Oken is going to grab that talisman and close our eyes and just trying to like focus on blocking out the sound.
As you focus, the sound of the voices fade and push away until you are in a calming, comfortable silence in your own mind. The only sound you hear now, the sounds of fire crackling, people laughing, music, and the scent of hot cider and hot chocolate is now filling your nose as Brianna arrives with a couple of warm drinks for you to enjoy. And I think in this moment, we're going to bed down for the night, as it's been a long night.
6 o'clock.
It is 6
Sorry,
o'clock.
sorry.
It's 6
heard of-
o'clock.
What alarm app is that you're using? Really
It's
good.
called my child that tells me the time.
Your child tells you the time.
This is
Yes,
really-
yes,
Yeah, it's
Um,
kind of exclusive.
yeah.
So,
No, absolutely exclusive. But yeah, the Azalea and Oken have a riveting evening. You do discover at some point from Brianna while you're enjoying your drinks, it's like 5 a.m, which means the time that you spent in that tapestry was way longer than you realized. Sort of a little bit of an unnerving thought before you get some sleep. And in the morning, you'll have breakfast with Geeta and perhaps make your way on the next stop of your journey. But we'll find that out next week.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for joining me on this next leg of A Season's Oath. I am Okami. I have been your guide. Please continue to join us every Sunday this weekend as we have all kinds of amazing charity streams both here and at Pocket Dragon Pub, raising funds for Rainbow Railroad. Let's go ahead and have our amazing players tell us who they are, where we can find them, what they're up to, and then mention just like one moment that they like really enjoyed in game. And we'll go ahead and start with Mark.
Hey everybody. I've been Oken, the cat Ragamuffin. Hope it's been enjoyable for everybody. I really enjoyed being rescued, which was really good. I didn't think that was going to happen, so I appreciate that.
Yes. Okay. Azalea.
hi, I'm Janie. I played Azalea, and I enjoyed doing rescuing and being like knowing what to do.
Yes. It's always great playing the witch. Like, it's the problem solver playbook, even though this game isn't really about problem solving. But hey, we're having fun. It's our version of Wanderhome, right?
That's right.
So with that, we're bedding down for the night, and we'll see you next week as the journey continues ever on.